Hollowing a ceramic sculpture in preparation for kiln firing. Before I begin this demonstration, here are some notes while I make some small adjustments. So, there are several reasons to hollow out a piece before firing it in a kiln. Generally, we want to avoid solid areas or inconsistent thickness throughout the piece. Air pockets and uneven drying might create structure problems that might cause the piece to break when it's fired. The sculpture will also dry faster and weigh less when it's hollow. In this video, I'll demonstrate the hollowing process on this small figure sculpture, but the same principles apply on larger pieces. The bottom part of the sculpture is already hollowed at this point. There are different methods for hollowing. I'll demonstrate the method I'm usually using. The clay I'm using here is water-based clay that may also be used for pottery. I will explain about the tools I use, but different tools can be used to achieve similar results. The timing of starting the hollowing process is really important. The piece should be dry enough so when it's hollow, it holds its weight, but not too dry so we can easily extract the excess clay from the inside. This stage in drying is called leather hard. I usually hollow a piece when the main structure is established but before the surface finish is applied. It's always possible to add or remove small amounts of material after the piece is hollowed. I slice the piece to allow access and extract material from the inside. Using a wire cutter, I chop off the upper part of the head. I try to do the cut at an angle that will allow good access to the inside. A horizontal cut is better because when the pieces are attached back together, we use gravity in our advantage to hold the pieces back in place. I also try to choose a cut line where there is not much texture or surface details to fix later. Using the ribbon tool, I take out the clay to leave a shell with constant width as much as possible. The width of the shell depends on the size of the piece. In this case, I leave about ½ inch. I create a hole in the neck to connect the head area to the chest. Using a serrated tool, I score the edges of the piece where the connection to the other piece will be. I spray with water and add some slip. Slip is clay diluted with water to a thick, creamy consistency. Check out the link in the description below for how to make slip. On larger pieces with thick walls, like this portrait, it's also recommended to punch holes in the form from the inside. This will expose air pockets in the shell and allow even drying. A fork is useful for this task. The same process is done on the other piece that we separated. I use a smaller tool to work on this small piece. Scoring, water, slip, now we attach both pieces together. I also put back the wooden dowel to support the head. I align the pieces and apply some pressure at the contact line, trying to be careful not to distort the shapes. To get good contact between the pieces and prevent cracks, a strip of clay is removed from the parting line, and then another strip is applied. We prepare the area for a good connection by scoring, water, and slip. Here I'm using clay that was removed during the hollowing process, which is drier than new clay, as the shell is. I'm using this drier clay rather than fresh new clay to have the same moisture level as the shell currently has, to prevent cracks as everything dries together. Now we use different tools we find convenient to blend the connection area and model back the texture. I use a Philippe Faraut tool here that I like. There's a link in the description, but any tool can work. That's it. From here it's adjustments, texture, finish, etc. Have fun!